I'm sorry, cuz.
Could have shared this with me.
I know.
You could have had the power.
I don't want it.
Don't you know the places we can go with this?
Yeah, I do. There's nobody there.
Exactly. The world isn't run by weapons anymore, or energy, or money. It's run by little ones and zeros, little bits of data. It's all just electrons.
I don't care.
I don't expect other people to understand this, but I do expect you to understand this. We started this journey together.
It wasn't a journey, cuz. It was a prank.
There's a war out there, old friend. A world war. And it's not about who's got the most bullets. It's about who controls the information. What we see and hear, how we work, what we think. It's all about the information.
If I were you, I'd destroy that thing.
Hi, I'm Walter Parks. As a filmmaker, I've spent a lot of time thinking about how human beings interact with a world that is increasingly being defined by technology. Back in 1983, I wrote a screenplay called War Games. There was a story about a young gamer's encounter with autonomous decision-making by computers and the importance of keeping humans in the loop. In 1992, I made Sneakers, which tried to communicate the extent to which access to information was becoming a defining feature of modern life. And in 2002, I produced Minority Report, a story set in a world where law enforcement used surveillance and big data to stop crimes before they happened. This is something we now call predictive analytics. Now, I've never set out to predict the future. If these films work at all, it's not because they were accurate harbingers, but rather because they present cogent human stories that provide a vehicle for audiences to understand sophisticated and at times abstract concepts. And it was largely working on these stories that I came to understand the power of narrative as an analytic tool, as a means of understanding and communicating complex information. In a way, that's the essence of the exercise you're going to engage in today. The UC Berkeley Center for Long-Term Cybersecurity, along with CNA and the World Economic Forum Center here 2025. I invite you to immerse yourself in these stories. Ask yourself, what are the logical extensions of the basic premise? How would you feel and act if you knew this was the world that was coming? And what could you do now to better prepare? Notice that whether it's the Sony hack or the WikiLeaks dump, cybercrime only becomes an urgent public issue after it travels from the theoretical to the real. Given the extent to which we are all living in an automated world, we can't afford to wait for the next definitive disruption. We need to make the abstract real now. But luckily, we're all hardwired with an ability to create and to understand stories, which just might be our most powerful tool in anticipating and stopping cybercrime in the future. Have a great session, and thanks very much.